Have you ever wondered why so many creatures across different species and environments seem to evolve into forms similar to cockroaches? It's a peculiar puzzle, isn't it? Whether it's the beetles in your garden or the crustaceans in the ocean, there's a striking number of creatures that seem to share some uncanny resemblances with our humble cockroach. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would anything want to evolve into a creature often associated with filth and decay? But the truth is, cockroaches are survivors. They're resilient, adaptable, and remarkably efficient. They've been around for hundreds of millions of years, thriving in nearly every corner of our planet. So, is there a pattern here? Does evolution favor the cockroach? Is there some sort of blueprint that nature tends to follow? These are the questions we're going to explore. Stay tuned as we delve into the concept of convergent evolution, a phenomenon that might just explain this intriguing pattern. Before we move forward, get familiar with a key term: convergent evolution. This fascinating biological concept refers to the process whereby distinct species, not closely related, independently evolve similar traits. Picture this: two distant branches on the tree of life, growing separately yet mirroring each other in certain characteristics. Now, isn't that intriguing? This phenomenon is often driven by similar environmental pressures or ecological roles, leading to parallel evolutionary paths. It's like nature's way of saying, hey, this works pretty well, let's do it again. And so, over millions of years, different species can evolve strikingly similar traits, even though their ancestors were markedly different. Now consider the cockroach: resilient, adaptable, and seemingly ubiquitous. As we delve deeper, you'll see how convergent evolution has led various species to develop cockroach-like traits. Why, you ask? Well, stay tuned. With this understanding of convergent evolution, we can now explore why cockroach-like traits seem to be a common theme in nature. Let's begin our exploration with the star of our discussion, the cockroach. These creatures, often viewed with a certain level of disgust, are actually fascinating examples of resilience. They've been scurrying about Earth for over 300 million years, predating even the dinosaurs. Cockroaches are masters of survival. They're able to withstand extreme temperatures from freezing point to nearly 40 degrees Celsius. They can go for weeks without food and, believe it or not, can even survive without a head for a week. This is due to their open circulatory system and the fact that they breathe through tiny tubes in their body segments. Their hardy exoskeletons provide protection and aid in water retention, while their flat bodies allow them to squeeze into tight spaces, making them excellent at hide and seek. Lastly, their impressive reproductive capabilities ensure their continued survival. It's clear that cockroaches are survivors, but how does this relate to other species? Now consider other species that seem to have taken a page from the cockroach's survival guide. As we delve into the world of beetles, we find these tiny creatures also boast an impressive resilience. Their hard exoskeleton, much like the cockroaches, provides protection from predators and environmental hazards. Then, let's sail to the domain of crustaceans, where we find the pill bug, also known as the roly-poly. This little bugger has a similar survival strategy, rolling into a ball when threatened, safeguarding its soft underbelly with a tough outer shell. What's fascinating is that these species, beetles and crustaceans, are not closely related to cockroaches. Yet they've developed similar survival traits, a phenomenon known as convergent evolution. It's like nature's way of saying, if it works, why not use it? And it's not just about physical characteristics. Many species have also evolved behavioral traits akin to cockroaches, like nocturnal habits or omnivorous diets. As we see, the cockroach is not alone in its survival strategy, but what drives this trend? To answer this, we must look at the pressures that shape the course of evolution. Environmental and evolutionary pressures, such as competition for resources or survival in harsh conditions, can steer species towards developing similar traits. This phenomenon, known as convergent evolution, is why we see cockroach-like resilience and adaptability in unrelated species. For example, beetles, like cockroaches, have evolved an exoskeleton that protects them from the environment and predators. Crustaceans, too, have developed hard shells and the ability to thrive in diverse habitats, much like our resilient roaches. Studying these instances of convergent evolution offers a fascinating insight into the mechanisms of evolution itself. It helps us understand how the pressures of survival can sculpt the diversity of life on Earth, leading to the emergence of similar traits in unrelated species. With this, we've unraveled the mystery of why evolution turned so many creatures into cockroach-like forms. But remember, every answer in science only leads to more questions.